Meanwhile, Jinwoo is more concerned about Cha and asks her, "Why were you trying so hard? There's no need for you to go to these lengths to join our guild. This is just a test, an entrance test for a nameless guild. A hunter of your caliber shouldn't risk their life over something like this." He asks her again, "Why were you going to such lengths? Are you perhaps interested in me?" Hearing those words, Cha is surprised, while Jinwoo thinks, maybe that's not the reason either. I just can't tell what she's up to. As he's thinking, he hears something. It was Cha who was telling him, "I think that might be the case." The story shifts to America, where Michael Connor and Mrs. Sellner are present in front of the director of the Federal Bureau of Hunters, David Brennan. He asks them about their meeting with Jinwoo and why they were unable to convince him to join the United States. Michael explains that, based on Mrs. Sellner's observation, Hunter Jinwoo is one of the kings. The director was surprised to hear those words and asked if they were saying that Hunter Jinwoo was as powerful as a national-level hunter. Mrs. Sellner starts to explain what she saw when she was inside his head. All awakened hunters draw their power from a place called the other side, and the connection between the two parties is what I can sense. Sometimes, the force from the other side is so intense that some hunters appear as streaks of blinding light. I usually refer to them as kings, but in his case, I saw no such connection. The moment I looked into his eyes, the darkness inside him stared back at me. He was the darkness itself. After hearing about what she saw, the director asks her if she is saying that Jinwoo is an evil person. She tells him, "No, rather I am telling you about his source of power." Hunter Jinwoo does not borrow his strength from somewhere else. He does not use the connection to channel his power like the other awakened. He uses his own strength, so the limitations of the connection don't apply to him. Michael asks if she is saying that there is no limit to Jinwoo's power, and that he can grow even stronger. Mrs. Sellner nods, telling him, "Yes, that is what I'm saying." After hearing all that, David Brennan gets up and starts to leave, thanking Mrs. Sellner for the information. He asks Michael to join him as he was going to the basement, level 24. While going down in the elevator, David Brennan tells Michael, "If we can't use Mrs. Sellner's abilities to get him, then we must find another way," and asks if he remembers the first ever S-rank gate that opened. Michael replies, "Of course I do. It was the most catastrophic dungeon break to date, which destroyed the entire West Coast area." David Brennan explains, "During that incident, America recruited the world's strongest hunters by offering them a huge reward, and out of those hunters, only 5 survived the raid. Each of them was given authority equal to that of a nation, which gave birth to the title of national-level hunters." He goes on by saying, "Kamish, the dragon also known as the Inextinguishable Flame, was a monster that single-handedly killed hundreds of the top-rank hunters. But there was a silver lining to that tragedy." Michael asks if he was talking about that. As the door opens, David Brennan tells him to see for himself. Michael is surprised to see a runestone that was found in Kamish's corpse. David Brennan tells him, "It's been 8 years since the Kamish raid, and there has yet to be a mage-class national-level hunter. So, this runestone has been waiting in this cold basement for its rightful owner to arrive for quite some time now. However, Kamish will once again bestow a valuable gift upon this beautiful country." The story shifts to Jinwoo, who is standing in the shower, looking in the mirror, unable to believe that a girl told him she is interested in him. He thinks, "I can definitely tell that since my reawakening I've grown a few inches and gotten in better shape, but am I really that attractive? Could it be because of the buffs I gained from the skill, will to survive, that any damage to the body will be restored, which is why my skin cleared up too?" He goes to Jinoa's room, asking her, "How would you rate me?" She asks him, "In terms of what?" Jinwoo responds, "In terms of my attractiveness." She asks him, "Where the heck is that confidence coming from? In my eyes, you just look like a bum." Hearing that, Jinwoo gets annoyed and says, "Thanks for your biased opinion," and she starts to kick him. He tells her, "Keep that up and you will end up breaking your leg. Did you forget who your big brother is? How does a bird brain like you even get into school?" She tells him she is the top of her class. After the brother-sister drama, Jinwoo tells her he was planning on forming a new guild, and she asks if he will be the big boss now. While she is telling her friend on the phone about the conversation they just had, how Jinwoo thinks he was attractive and adds, he's finally lost it. Jinwoo asks her what she thinks about the name Solo Play Guild, and she tells him, "Why would you name your guild that? You use your abilities to summon those shadow soldiers, so technically you are not a solo player." Jinwoo thinks that's a good point and asks her what he should name his guild. She suggests a Jin guild, explaining the character A means I and Jin means to go forward. Hearing that, Jinwoo shows some interest in the name. The story shifts to Hunter Cha's house, who was making a fuss in her room, remembering today's incident. She says, "I basically told him that I like him. He probably thinks I'm crazy, but he did save my life, so of course, I'd be interested in him." Thinking it's perfectly okay, who am I kidding? Everything is totally not okay. As she was lying there, she started to think, strictly speaking, I was able to survive because of Hunter Min's healing ability. As she was thinking, she suddenly recalls something. She remembers when she was unconscious, she saw something in a vision. As she remembers, a hand grabbed her while she was drifting away. The person asked her, "Please tell him." And as she looked back, it was Hunter Min who was asking her to tell him that he must be careful. Tell Hunter Jinwoo that he must be careful of the power that lies within him. Remembering that, she springs back up, saying, "I remember now." Fast forward to the next day, we see Park Jing-soo and Jung Yoon-tae talking. Jung Yoon-tae tells him that yesterday a gate appeared in their territory, but it will be difficult to get a raid permit for it. According to the Hunters Association, the gate's rank is quite high. Park Jing-soo asks if it is an S-rank gate. Jung Yoon-tae replies no, but they say it's near to being one. Hearing that, Park Jing-soo tells him that they all could end up dying in there if they are not careful. Jung Yoon-tae explains if it was an S-rank, giving up would have been the best option as they don't have the manpower for such a powerful gate. But we are one of the 5 major guilds in the country, so people might start talking if we fail to clean it. Adding, the guys over at the Fame Guild will jump at the opportunity if we pass on this gate. Hearing that, Park Jing-soo gets furious, saying, "Are you saying we should just spoon-feed Ma Dongwook a gate that spawned right in front of our yard?" Jung Yoon-tae, scared, tells him, "I was just letting you know, that's all." As they are discussing what to do, a woman comes from the back and asks them, "Why don't we just form an alliance with another guild?" Then Park Jing-soo asks if there will be another guild that might agree to that when it's obvious that we are only asking for help because we don't think we can clear the gate by ourselves. The girl, whose name is Youngyi Rim, who is an A-rank healer, suggests, instead of a guild, how about an individual person? Park Jing-soo tells her, "This is a top-tier A-rank gate we're talking about. How would a single hunter make even a slight difference?" As he was telling her that, he remembers about Jinwoo. Youngyi Rim tells him, "You know who I'm talking about." Park Jing-soo thinks creating an alliance might give them a bad name, but the public might acknowledge us more if we join forces with Hunter Jinwoo and asks what Hunter Jinwoo is up to these days. Jung Yoon-tae reports that he recently cleared a gate that spawned in the middle of a highway, but besides that, he's been keeping a low profile and asks Park Jing-soo if he wants him to get his contact info. But Park Jing-soo stops him by saying it wouldn't be right to handle such an important matter over the phone and tells them, "Let's go pay him a visit." The story shifts to Jinwoo, who is talking with Jinho about the name of their guild. He suggests the name Ajin. Hearing that, Jinho agrees with him that this is the perfect name, while thinking, anything is better than Solo Play Guild. After deciding on the name, Jinwoo tells him, "Now we just need to recruit one last member, and we will officially form a guild." Jinho asks him what happened with Hunter Cha. Jinwoo tells him, "I don't think it'll work out with Hunter Cha. She's not exactly who I've been looking for." Jinho, after hearing that, is shocked, thinking, she is an S-rank hunter with an excellent record of dungeon raids. On top of that, she is beautiful as well. No matter how you look at it, she's pretty much perfect. He asks Jinwoo what kind of person he is looking for anyway. He tells Jinho that someone with a hunter's license is not interested much in their guild activities, but it should be someone he can trust. Hearing that, Jinho tells him, "I think I have a couple of people in mind that can fulfill your requirements." As they are discussing, they hear a knock on the door. Jinwoo goes to answer, thinking, "Don't tell me it's Hunter Cha again." As he looks, he sees Park Young-soo along with Jung Yerim and Jung Yoon-tae, who introduces himself as the guild master of the Night Guild. Seeing them at their door, Jinwoo and Jinho wonder why they came to their guild office. After the introductions, they sit down, and Park Young-soo starts to explain the situation to Jin-woo. He shows him a video of the gate that recently appeared in Korea. He tells Jin-woo that this gate is huge in size and was giving out a massive amount of magic energy. Jin-woo asks if it was an S-rank gate. Park Young-soo tells him no, but it is close to being an S-rank, adding, "This is the largest gate to ever appear in Busan." Hearing the location of the gate, Jin-woo started to wonder if he should meet with Miss Ji-hee like the old times and have her treat him to sashimi. Meanwhile, Park Young-soo was telling him the reason for his visit was because the association doesn't want to issue the raid permit to their guild as their guild lacks an S-rank hunter and asks Jin-woo to join them in this raid so they can acquire this gate. Young Yoon-tae, in the back, was thinking if she should ask for Jin-woo's autograph. Park Young-soo proposes the deal to Jin-woo, saying usually when an S-rank hunter participates in a raid, he takes 10% of the share, but he is willing to give him 20% of the profits for this dungeon. Jin-woo, hearing that, tells him to make it 50-50, adding, "I will cooperate if you are willing to ally with my guild and not just with me as an individual," telling them he just happened to establish a guild under the name of Jin Guild. Park Young-soo tells him, "In that case, let's do it 40-60. Jin-woo tells him he wasn't trying to bargain with the Night Guild as he was not the one who needed help. Hearing that, Park Young-soo thinks, "I thought things would work out just fine because he's still young and looks friendly, but I see now that he is no pushover," and agrees on the condition that Jin-woo will take care of the boss. After the discussion, Park Young-soo tells Jin-woo that the gate appeared a couple of days ago, so they need to start the raid tomorrow at the latest and asks Jin-woo to come with them. But Jin-woo tells him, "No, I will see you guys tomorrow. I have some errands to check on," saying, "I won't make you guys wait." While talking, Jin-woo receives a call and wonders who it is. He excuses himself, saying he'll be back after attending this call. He answers the phone, and it is his mother. He asks her if she bought a new phone and if she was calling at the wrong time. Jin-woo tells her it's nothing like that and tells her, "Let's have dinner together tonight." Fast forward to the next day, we see a huge crowd next to the gate in Busan. These were all hunters from the Knights Guild who were preparing to participate in the raid. Park Young-soo, already in his armor, was looking at his phone, thinking, "We should have made him come with us yesterday," and wondered if he was going to be late. Looking at the time, he said, "We will be leaving in 5 minutes." Meanwhile, Jin-woo was getting ready to head to the location. Looking at the weather, he wondered if Jaina brought an umbrella with her, and using his shadow exchange, he teleports to the location. The scene shifts to Jaina's school, where some students are walking in the hallway, discussing the art teacher who was making them do all the work that he was supposed to do himself. After arriving in a classroom, they notice it was all dusty, as the place was closed for a while and no one cleaned it. In a corner, one of the students notices something. He sees a gate and tells his friends about it. He approaches it, saying, "What are you scared of? The gate is secure when it is closed like this, and only the hunters can enter or come out of it," saying it will take about a week for the gate to open. Hearing that, one of the boys tells them that the place was left neglected for the whole semester. As they were talking, they failed to notice that cracks started to form on the gate's seal. All of a sudden, a hand comes out of it, grabbing the head of the boy standing next to the gate. He starts to struggle, trying to free himself. He looks at his friends, asking for help, but it was too late, as the creature crushes his skull right in front of his friends. The students see a humanoid monster coming out of the gate. And the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. The hunters were greatly excited by the smell of flesh and blood, but these two were just scouts, so they suppressed their instincts and prioritized their mission. These hunters hid in the darkness for a week. One of the creatures senses humans in the building. He tells the second monster, "This building is as complex as a castle," and asks him to call for the brothers, as he will start the hunt first, saying, "We'll massacre all the humans in this castle and fortify our position. Then we start hunting for real." As he gets out of the room, he sees some students in front of him. Before they could notice the beast, it was already upon them. The story shifts back to Jin-woo, who had arrived at the location. Looking at the gate, he comments, "It's bigger in person." He looks at the team and notices the mining team and the collection team, along with 13 A-rank hunters and 20 B-rank hunters. Looking at all of them, Jinwoo thinks, they have this many A-rank hunters? As expected of the guild with the most A-ranks. As he was thinking, he gets swarmed by the hunters that were about to participate in the raid with him. They start to ask him questions about his abilities and if he was taking the lead in today's raid. Seeing all this, Jinwoo gets confused and Young Yerim steps in, stopping all the hunters, saying they were making Jinwoo feel awkward. She introduces herself to Jinwoo, saying she is an A-rank healer of the Night Guild's assault team. Jinwoo notices Park Young-soo behind him. Park Young-soo tells Jinwoo that he will explain everything to the team now. He tells them he will be the one to lead the raid. Hearing that, the guild members tell him, shouldn't Jinwoo lead, as he is an S-rank? Hearing that, Park Young-soo tells them, Hunter Jinwoo will be in charge of the rear and make sure that we're safe. Hearing that, they ask if he thinks that they are so weak that they need someone else's protection. Park Young-soo explains to Jinwoo that it might have been a bit rude, but they usually have this kind of atmosphere, and Jinwoo tells him that just means they are that confident. After the talk, they start to make their way into the dungeon. The scene shifts to the Hunters Association emergency call center, where a phone operator receives a call from someone. The person, scared, tells the lady that there were monsters outside, saying a dungeon break occurred in their school. She asks her where she was calling from. The girl tells her that she was hiding in the bathroom, scared. She explains everything to her, saying, I was with my friend, and all of a sudden, monsters appeared and started to kill everyone. Hearing that, the operator tells her that the hunters are heading there right now and asks her to calm down. She asks if she knows what kind of monsters they were. The girl tells her she saw them on TV and describes them as having green skin. Hearing that, the operator is terrified. She tells the girl to run away from there, as those things are orcs and they can smell their prey from a distance. But it was too late, as an orc found her, and the operator was horrified as she heard the screams of the girl who was asking for help. Meanwhile, in the school, the students were running out of the building as the orcs took out the ones trapped inside. The orcs start to discuss how they lost half of their prey, as the second one tells him it was okay, as there are still many left. They say that they managed to block the escape path and now will go up another floor and take out all of the remaining humans. Meanwhile, the students had barricaded the door using tables and chairs and trapped themselves inside a classroom. But it was no use, as one of the orcs destroyed the door. As the students looked at the scene in horror, they saw an orc covered in blood coming straight towards them. Seeing an opportunity, one of the students started to run towards the window, trying to escape while the orc was distracted by the other students. As he got close to the window, he saw two red eyes staring at him. Before he could react, he saw an axe coming straight towards his head. In the blink of an eye, it was over for him, as more orcs surrounded the classroom. One of them sensed a student with magical energy. He told the leader about that, and he told them to kill her first. We see Jaina and Han Song-yi standing at the back, scared, as she calls for her brother. Han Song-yi, seeing no way out, tells Jaina, even though I'm an E-rank, I am an awakened, and prepares to fight while Jaina is trying to stop her. As the orcs approach them, one of them asks if that is the human he was talking about. The second orc tells him, no, I sense something much more powerful right next to her. It swings its axe towards Jaina, saying, the smell is coming from that girl. She must die. Both girls close their eyes, accepting their fate, but as Jaina opens her eyes, she sees a high orc standing in front of her who managed to stop the attack. Looking at it, she understands it was her brother who had placed these soldiers around her for her protection. With one swing of the punch, the high orc managed to launch the orc into the air, and it went flying through the ceiling, shocking the rest of the monsters in the room, as three huge orcs surrounded Jaina. The story shifts back to Jinwoo and the Knights Guild, who had entered the dungeon. Park Young-soo shouts and tells everyone, it's an ogre, and they all see a towering giant of a two-headed ogre in front of them. As the creature swings its weapon at the hunters, Park Young-soo, using his ability, creates a shield in front of him. With full force, the monster strikes at the shield, but there was no use, as the barrier was strong enough to block the strike. He orders Yuntae, and he starts to run towards the monster's face. Running on its axe, he manages to blind the beast and tells the rest of the hunters to deal as much damage as they want to now. Hearing that, all of the hunters started to charge toward the beast. They started to chop it to pieces, and using their magic, the mages burned the thing to a crisp. After they managed to take out the creature, Park Young-soo told the team to regroup for a moment. He tells Jinwoo that things don't look good. I knew this would not be easy, but I didn't expect us to fight a twin-headed ogre from the start. He asks Jinwoo if he knows the second name for these twin-headed ogres, and Jinwoo tells him they are called Gravekeepers. Park Young-soo tells him that's right, which means there would be an army of undead awaiting them. He hears Young Yoon-tae telling him that he jinxed it and asks if they should attack them. But they notice that the undead are not approaching them. They are just standing there, staring at them. The hunters started to discuss that something seemed off about them as they were backing away. Usually, they charge on sight. Hearing them talk, Jinwoo thinks, I had high expectations since this was a high-tier A-rank dungeon, and all of a sudden, he senses something. He tells Park Young-soo that he was leaving as an urgent matter had come up. Hearing that, Park Young-soo tried to stop him, saying, without you, we might get ourselves into danger. Jinwoo told him, in that case, I'll call over someone that's just